If your game's been choppy, stuttery, or not running right in Chapter 7 Season 2, this is what you need. I'll walk you through the exact changes I made to boost my FPS whether you're on a low-end setup or a solid PC that's underperforming. These tweaks can also smooth out gameplay and reduce freezes or lag spikes mid-fight. The best part, it's all simple. No advanced knowledge of PCs or sketchy downloads needed. Just quick changes you can make right now that actually work. If you're tired of losing fights because your game can't keep up, this will help fix that. So let's get right into it. All right, so we're gonna go into our settings, and for windowed mode, you wanna have it either full screen or windowed full screen. You're gonna want your display on your main monitor, obviously. Your resolution, I have it set to what my base monitor resolution is, which is 2056 by 1440. But if you guys are on a lower end PC, make sure you guys are running 1920 by 1080 or even stretched res. You're gonna want VSync off. You're gonna want your frame limit set to whatever your hertz of your monitor is. So mine is at 480 hertz. So I have my monitor or my PC set at 480 FPS customly. Rendering mode is preference, but in my opinion, performance mode is better than legacy performance mode, and it might be different from you guys, so experiment with those two. Brightness 150, color blinds, Tritanope, color blind strength 8, user interface parallax, have that off. Minimum 3D resolution. If you guys want way higher FPS, you can have this set lower, but I wouldn't recommend going below 80 because it makes your game look really bad, even at 80. So go anywhere from 80 to 100. If you're on a lower end PC, you can lower it as much as you want down, but your graphics will be really bad. Dynamic 3D resolution off, view distance near, textures low, and you will want meshes low as well. I have them on high because I'm a content creator and I like to have the high meshes. They look better in my opinion. Show FPS on so you know you don't get any drops or anything like that. Latency markers off. If you have Nvidia, make sure reflex low latency is on or on plus boost, and then apply those settings. All right, so we're gonna actually make sure we verify our files in Fortnite, but before we do that, we're gonna come here and we're gonna go to options, and you're gonna wanna make sure you have high resolution textures off if you do play in performance mode. If you do play on high resolution textures, obviously you'll wanna keep that on, but the whole purpose of this video is to get the most performance, so uncheck it and then press apply. Once you do that, you're gonna come here and you're gonna go to your manage and you're gonna verify your Fortnite files. It'll just make sure all the files are there and nothing's missing from your PC. Now, before we do anything else, we're actually going to create a restore point. So if some of these tweaks do mess up with your PC, they shouldn't, but if they do, you can go back or you can use that restore point. So what we're going to do is come down here to the search bar and do restore point, and then click on create a restore point. And then once you are here, you're going to press create a restore point right now for the drives that have system protection turned on. Create, name it whatever you want. So I'll name it flow and then press create. And then the restore point was created successfully. Before we keep going, I want to show you guys the exact tool I've been using that made this whole process way easier. The sponsor of today's video is Risen's Tweaks. And this is honestly one of the simplest ways to boost your FPS and optimize your PC without having to mess with a bunch of complicated settings yourself. What I like about it is how easy it is to use. You literally just download it from their website, open it up, and double click on whatever tweak you want to apply. That's it. It automatically handles all the changes for you in the background, whether that's improving performance, lowering latency, or cleaning up your system. They have a bunch of different tweaks depending on what you're trying to improve, so you can kind of customize it to your setup without needing any real PC knowledge. So if you want a faster, easier way to get more FPS and smoother gameplay, definitely check them out using the link in the description or the pinned comment, and you guys can use code FLOW at checkout to get 15% off. Go check them out, and back into the video. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is enable game mode. So we're gonna come down here and we're gonna type in game mode. You're gonna click on game mode settings, and you're gonna wanna make sure that game mode settings are actually turned on, and then go to graphics as well. And what you're gonna do here is you're gonna add Fortnite as a optimized game. So as you see, it says optimizations for windowed games, and you're gonna wanna make sure that is turned on. And as you guys can see, Fortnite is right here, but all you gotta do to add it is you just press add desktop app, and then you go through your devices and you find the actual exe file in Fortnite. And then you double click on it and you can have all these different games with the optimization for windowed games. Now we're gonna come down here for the next thing and we're gonna type in CMD and we're gonna open the command prompt. Now you're gonna right click on the command prompt and make sure you pin it to taskbar, and then you're gonna actually close the command prompt. Then you're gonna right click on it, right click on terminal, and run as administrator. Then you're gonna copy this code that I have in the description, which is dism online cleanup image restore health, and you're gonna click enter. Basically what this does is it goes back to the old, like a healthy version of Windows, and it makes sure it checks everything to make sure that you're not missing any important files that you need on your PC in order to get the max performance out of your PC. Because if you do have missing files out of Windows, it might be causing latency or FPS or even ping issues later on. Now, depending on how often you actually do this, it might stop at like 62.3% like it has for me, or it might stop at a different random percentage. All you guys are gonna have to do is just wait, leave your PC on, don't close anything, and just let it fully run through. Now you guys can see after about 8 minutes, it says 100%, the restore operation completed successfully, the operation completed successfully, and it fixed any problems I would have on my PC. Now we're going to do one more command. So you're going to go back down into the description and copy the ultimate performance power plan. And you're going to copy and paste this in here. If you guys want to check if you got ultimate performance, you're going to go down here, go to control panel. You're going to click on system. You're going to click on hardware and sound. You're going to go to power options. And as you guys can see, I have a bunch of different power plans because I've done this a bunch of other times, but we do have the Chris Titus Ultimate Power Plan. But if we scroll down, we have the Ultimate Performance Plan right here, which is what you guys will want to use, unless you do have the Chris Titus Ultimate Power Plan. And once you have that, then you can apply it and close this out. Now, the next thing we're going to do is optimize our Nvidia control panel. So you're going to come down here, go to Nvidia and open up an Nvidia control panel. Now, if you guys do have an AMD GPU, it will be different for you guys, but there are certain ways you guys can do this too. So you're going to go to adjust image settings with preview, and you're going to go to use my preference emphasizing performance, and you're going to drag it all the way to the left. And then with that out the way, you're going to come over to the manage 3D settings, and you're going to make sure that you copy all these settings: image scaling off, ambient occlusion off. Just slow this video down and copy all of these ones. And then when you get down here, you're going to want to go to texture filtering quality and make sure that's on high performance. Power management mode, make sure it's prefer maximum performance. And then also on low latency mode, you're going to want to make sure low latency mode is on or ultra. Either one works good. And then max frame rate, you're going to have this off. But if you guys do want a certain frame rate for a certain game, you guys can come to program settings over here. And if you guys see, you guys can select a program to customize. I have Fortnite selected. And if you guys want to have a custom FPS, like I have 480 FPS on my PC when I play Fortnite, you're going to scroll down and you're going to go to max frame rate, and you're going to make sure it's 480 FPS, as well as your low latency mode. You're going to want to make sure it's on ultra, and then you're going to press apply. And then you guys can close this out. Now, the next thing we're going to do is actually update our GPU drivers, because not a lot of you guys actually do that. So you're going to come down here, you're going to look up the Nvidia app if you do have an Nvidia GPU once again, and you're going to come over to the drivers section. Now, for me, it says download. So we're going to actually download these drivers because these are the newest drivers, and you want to have the most recent drivers downloaded on your PC because it supports the newest versions of games like Fortnite. And once again, you guys can do this on AMD. I'm just not sure because I've always had an Nvidia graphics card. And once again, after you press download, you're going to press install, and you're going to do express installation and press continue. Now, once again, after you do all these tweaks, you're going to want to reset your PC just so it applies everything, and then you guys can go into Fortnite and test and see what they did for your performance. And yeah, after doing all of this, my game just felt completely different. Everything was smoother, my FPS was way more consistent, and those random stutters that used to throw fights pretty much disappeared. If you actually go through and apply these, you should notice a difference almost instantly. If this helped you out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe because I've got a lot more videos coming that are going to help you improve way faster. If you want to take it a step further, check out the video on screen right now where I break down even more ways to get better at Fortnite and become the best player overall. I love you all. You guys have a great rest of your guys' day. Peace, guys.